Good morning. I am just headed out for a walk and decided to jump on live and see if anybody wanted to join in, ask questions. So the thing that I've been thinking about is how here. So many people are learning about taking control of their health, learning the truth. Look how beautiful that is, wow. And how January happens to be World Carnivore Month. And that it's usually a great time to start a change, because you can't make a change unless we make a change, and we have to be willing to make a change. And for many of us, it has to be a pretty dramatic change. Gosh, look at this. And it's not easy. I mean, we've gone decades of our lives being kind of accustomed to our own family traditions and habits and addictions, and I don't know. I defy anybody to tell me that sugar isn't addictive, and I think, and actually we're going to add to that the taste of sweet, because there's so many people. Gosh, this is just so awesome. There's so many people who are, cross-addict onto sweeteners and still have trouble with cravings and the sugar addiction. Hang on, I gotta take one of these earbuds out. I can't handle not hearing myself right. And so most of us try time and time again to stop, and knowing that it's not healthy, knowing that it's inflammatory. Good morning, Valerie. And so therein lies that issue that you have to have in your head, thinking, wow, if I know it's not good for me, I can stop it for a little while and I keep going back to it. That's really the definition of an addiction. This is kind of weird. It's like a puddle of water up here on the beach. So ultimately knowing that stopping it altogether is the best for ongoing long-term health. And we know sugar, processed foods, and grains cause inflammation. They cause many ill effects in our bodies, along with the fact that the glucose and the insulin is damaging to our blood vessels, and glucose feeds cancer cells, which are the most metabolically active. I'm gonna have to switch my hand back and forth because I've got one hand out of the glove and one hand in a glove, but it's about, I think it's about 28 degrees, which I think is -2 Celsius. Let me look at, Susan says, good morning, where are you at? I am in New Jersey on the Atlantic Ocean, Monmouth Beach. So Valerie says, good morning, does carnivore help with digestive issues like gas? Been following Bright Line Eating for about a year, and all my health markers are now normal, except I'm having terrible gas. All right, Valerie, so the one thing I can say about Bright Line Eating, and this is only what I know of it, and I only had heard of it and started looking into it and reading up about it a bit when members of my groups had talked about their prior history. Oh God, I really have deadhead here. Would have been nice if I fixed my hair for my video, but sometimes I don't even know I'm going to do a video. I get out here and start walking and like, let's have people walk with me. So the Bright Line, okay, so one of my major issues with it, now it's a wonderful program to stepstone toward getting up to what of course I feel is the ultimate carnivore. You know, keto's right below it, but you know, Overeaters Anonymous and Bright Line are down lower in my experience and in my book of knowledge on these things. But I was very okay, let me see how I can word this. My thought process on the Bright Line, since it does allow, it's always measured out in a small amount, but fruit. But at the same time, she talks about how, you know, you can't have you can't have sugar. Whoa, I am going to actually not want to get my boots here wet. I need to pay attention. And talks about how you can't, there's sweet sensors on your tongue and you can't have sugar. Well, I think to myself, well, what is that fruit doing? Jumping over the sweet sensors and down your throat? I mean, that logic makes no sense to me, and therein lies why fruit, aside from, I believe, being fructose and not being healthy, fruit is a major no. Oh, look at this. Look what we come upon here. Got a nice little guy here. So I'm going to interrupt for some cool scenery and cool marine life on the beach. Yeah, it makes no sense to me because you're still triggering those sweet sensors, the sweet, you know, the taste buds that pick up sweet, that trigger the brain, first of all, the dopamine hit, and then, more importantly, even if it's an artificial sweetener, it is telling the brain that something sweet's coming down, we got to release the insulin, and it has this cascade. Because I don't care what you say, whether it's, you know, natural sugars that's in a carrot, those in a Snickers bar, or that in stevia. It is still, we have a very intricate brain with a very specific chemical sensors and processes that get triggered, and it's really important to understand, if you really want to get clean from this stuff, then you really need to think hard about putting the sweeteners in. And so in answer, gosh, you know, I keep going on these major tangents, but Valerie, in answer to what you were saying, that you're still having trouble with gas, go, January 1's a good time, go full carnivore. I'm not sure exactly what your eating protocol is on the Bright Line, but I've read up enough about it that it includes, you know, various differing foods, and there is something in your diet that is causing the gas. So I say, you know, that the best learning tool is a total elimination down to the lion diet. Not many people are willing to do that, because then it has to be, well, how exactly bad is your gas to want to put up with eating meat, salt, water? You know, that's the bare bones lion diet. Ruminant meat, basically, which is beef, lamb, elk, bison kind of thing. But that would be my suggestion if you're really looking to get the answer. Eliminate everything. Do it for 90 days. And then, one by one, add something back in. Add eggs. Then add butter. Then add pork, or however you want to run your elimination. But that's what I would suggest. Let me see if I can scroll to some more questions. Yeah, this sunrise is so pretty. So pretty, Roxanne, right? Hello from Sweden. Hi. Do you think onions and garlic can sabotage pure carnivore? Anne in Houston. Well, here's the thing. Do you feel awesome? Do you have no diagnosis of any sort, no medications, you're living life to the fullest, and you're eating onion and garlic? Then it's awesome. Add in some avocado and some olives too. If, whatever floats your boat that you can tolerate, that you feel really good on. I would say in general, for somebody like Valerie above, I would exclude onions and garlic because, they're from a particular family of plants that in some people can cause reactions in gas. So there's yes, Valerie, excellent for gut issues and no gas. Plants cause those issues. So he's answering to you, right? Let's see. Is it necessary to wear sunglasses during the day? Tiffany. I know this sounds so crazy, and I know some of you who have been following along with me for a while. I am an eye doctor for over 30 years and carnivore for almost 14. And I, as much as I can, do not wear sunglasses. I let the sun shine. This is what's going directly in. Now, I'm not staring at the center of the sun, but I'm looking eastward out toward the sky. And it is so important for so many reasons to have that signal from the photons that come in to enter. It goes to our pineal gland. It signals so much in our brain. Our eyes are not just for vision, and I am still in awe of how amazing and complicated and intricate our human body really is. It really is just mind-boggling. But okay, and so for years, our whole lives, we've been told, wear sunglasses, protect your eyes for cataracts, macular degeneration, right? Well, for millions of years, man did not have sunglasses. He was not going blind from cataracts and macular degeneration. Let's just really think about this. And evolutionarily, we are not meant to block the sun from either our eyes or our skin. So somebody could say, well, if you're not using sunscreen and you're not, maybe I'll go this direction and switch, and you're not using sunglasses, why are we told to do that? Well, so most of the population has a westernized or Americanized crappy garbage SAD, standard, they call it the standard American diet, I call it the standard atrocious diet, and that involves, for the past 100 years, lots of seed oils, vegetable oils. Oh, look at this guy, where is he? He's got some sort of clam or something in his mouth. I don't know, here, let me turn this around. Oh, no, he just flew away. He wants to eat by himself. Where was I at? Oh, yeah, so this stuff stays in our bodies. It's a toxic oil that was originally created as machine engine lubricant, and they figured out that they could put it in food and increase the shelf life and make them addictive. And in any case, it's basically practically it's like a 3-year half-life. It takes about 8 years for it to get out of your body. Like, once you eliminate it totally and never have French fries, any processed food, pretty much anything that comes in a box, a bag, a bottle, or a jar, mayonnaise, horrible, salad dressing, horrible. You look at the first ingredient, soybean oil, canola oil, most peanut butters, all this stuff we keep putting in our bodies. It's not just in those kind of things. It's in almost everything. And if you go to any restaurant, unbeknownst to us, you know, you might say, oh, I'm going to order a nice, healthy salmon fillet, pan-seared, it says on the menu. They take this bottle of sludge, squirt it in the pan, and fry. They use it because it's odorless and tasteless because it went through like an 8-stage chemical process to get it like that. And it can be heated to high heat. It's really, really bad, really toxic, and that stuff's it's pervasive, and you have to really work at avoiding it. Not if you're really on carnivore, but even carnivore, you go out, you order chicken wings, they're deep fried in that garbage. Everything at the restaurants, except for Buffalo Wild Wings, fries their wings at almost every location, from what I understand, in beef tallow. So you have to do a location by location check, but I know for sure. I always ask, and I'm always told, they even ask the manager, yes, it's in beef tallow. So where was I going with that? Oh, let's go back to the sunglasses and the sun on the skin, the sun on the eyes. We've had so much inflammation from so many years of seed oils, and it goes into our cells, our cell membranes. Every one is made up of fat. So this sludge, toxic fat, incorporates, it's inflammatory. Have to really, really, really think hard about putting any of that in your body, because for how long that half-life, 8 years to clear it out. If you stop right now, it's just unbelievable what that does to our bodies. So if you're eating all that standard atrocious stuff and you are allowing the sun on your skin and the sun in your eyes, yes, you're going to have problems with cataracts and macular degeneration and skin cancer. But it's not from the sun, it's from the seed oils and the sugars and the processed food and the grains. So I just really, I'm not here to tell everybody start, looking out to the sun, and if you're not eating a proper human diet, but I'm hoping everybody is heading in that direction and learning the truth and figuring out that we are not told the truth. We're not told the correct information, and not even going to get into that whole kind of can't go there or else we get banned. But it's just so important to realize looking out without sunglasses is really important, especially in the first couple hours of your day. So I purposely either head out for my walk early, or if it doesn't fit into my morning to do a walk, I at least open my doors, even in winter, and I go outside. And wow, check out this guy. He might be good for, whoops, hang on. That might be good for a nice little dinner, huh? That guy was pretty big, jeez. So, okay, where was I at? Oh, here's another one. I guess that's his other claw. Poor guy. Some nice little seagull. Seagulls around here are huge. Get a nice breakfast from that. So the importance of going out, and I say really within the first couple hours of sunrise, is that because of the angle of the sun, our brains are really smart. It knows, because of the percentage of different UV that's coming through, how to signal and do what it needs to do with our cortisol, our melatonin. Let's see, hang on. The temperature out here is about 28 degrees, which is about -2 Celsius, I think. I always try to put both Celsius and Fahrenheit, because I know how frustrating it is for me when somebody posts in Celsius, and I'm really curious what the temperature is, but my brain does not compute in Celsius, so I always purposely put both. So let's see. Good morning, Dr. Lisa and fellow carnivores. Beautiful sunrise. Oh, thanks, Christopher. Can you still get UV cortisol benefits of sunrise light with contacts? Okay, Anne, here's the thing. You know I'm an eye doctor, and it was so weird for me because 30 years ago when I was starting in practice and totally not yet in this whole space of knowing the truths and figuring out what I should be eating and not eating, and as I'm practicing and I'm fitting people with contacts, and as the years go on, Vistakon, I believe, was the very first company, J&J AccuView, to come out with UV protection contacts. They even had like a little display thing that they had a contact of their brand and another brand, and you would be able to shine light and you could actually see the UV protection in that contact and all. And man, yeah, so now most companies put UV protection, UV blockers in their contacts. So yeah, it's you need to go out with no glasses and no contacts, because we don't want to look toward this beautiful sun out here and be blocking exactly what we want to get into our eyes. So you will not put your contacts on yet and go out and face east, even if it's raining, even if it's cloudy, even if there's trees and mountains and houses and buildings in the way. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be directly looking at that beautiful globe out there. What we are doing is just facing east, the direction from where that UV is coming from, and having our eyes open with no glasses, no contacts. Even if you just do it 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, try to do it every morning, and try to do it without your glasses or contacts on. Now some people say, well, I can't see at all without my glasses or contacts. All right, wear your glasses over to the door, the window, open it up, stare outside. Now there is times where I do put on my sunglasses, which is in a car when I'm driving, because the windshield itself already is blocking the light and the UV and the glare off the roads, the other cars, just basically the glare when you're driving. It's totally fine to wear your sunglasses. And there's times where if I'm walking along and it's extremely bright, if I'm near the water and off the sand and I'm hanging out with friends for hours on the beach, yeah, I'm going to put my sunglasses on. It's comfortable, especially if I'm going to read on the beach. There's nothing wrong with sunglasses. Sunglasses are awesome. Just not wearing them full time, all the time. Wow, check this out. This is a horseshoe crab that's got, I guess, what are these things? You know, those, there's some sort of snail, or I don't know. And it's funny that it hooked onto that guy. It's like a probiotic, but I forget what they call it. I'm missing my biology words here. A mutually beneficial situation. Ooh, I always like to look for shells in sea glass. There's really not much. This one's kind of pretty though. It's not much that I can find in sea glass around here for some reason, but I still keep looking because every once in a while I find it and I have a little collection of it. All right, I know I go on way long tangents with that kind of stuff, but I don't know. That stuff's kind of interesting. All right. Oh, heck, let me go back. I'm scrolling now, so bear with me a second here. Just enjoy the view. Anne says, flavored LMNT electrolytes. Okay, so, yeah, you know, here's my thing with that. Let me go on that for a minute. There's some people who just feel like they're going to die without their... Whoa, I'm going to run away from this. I guess the tide's coming in. I got to start walking higher up. Yeah, and if you go carnivore, oh, look at this. I love these little kind of like coral pieces. I kind of try to, when I go for my walk, find a couple cool things. Oh, and here we have what do we have here? We have somebody's sneaker. Oops. You don't need to see the sneaker. A washed up sneaker. So if using elementy electrolytes, because I'm assuming you're talking about the flavored, like the citrus, the raspberry, the lemon lime. They have a chocolate salt one. They have a chocolate mint one with just let's say a touch of stevia. And if that helps get you through to be able to make turning carnivore sustainable, then see how you do with it. If you don't keep sliding back into that damn ditch and heading back into, sugar and carbs and grains, then maybe it's okay for you. There's a lot of information about sweeteners and insulin and glucose and why we don't want to spike that, and we want that as low as possible, and blah blah blah. I could lecture all about how ideally we would give up. Always trying to look at interesting things that wash up on the beach. I usually try to carry a bag and pick up any trash that washes up, but so yeah, I gotta, I'm not giving you a great answer because I'm on the fence with what I tell some people this and what I tell other people this. If you've got a severe sugar addiction and you keep sliding back and forth and yo-yo dieting. Good morning from Southern California. Yeah, it wasn't a barnacle, because when I touched it, I know what barnacles are, because I actually have done quite a bit of fishing and done many years around the water. This was more of some sort of shell that somehow has an affinity for latching onto the horseshoe crab, but let's see. What about those special light therapy glasses for rainy weather? Oh, Linda, I don't know. Why? I guess my thing is I just keep going back to simple. I feel like, our naked eyes in the natural weather of nature. I do read and see and understand, the benefits of the whole red light therapy and the light boxes for people who have seasonal affective disorder and that kind of thing. I will tell you, and if you look on my YouTube channel, I do have a video because I myself purchased a SPERTI, SPERTI, SPERTI vitamin D lamp because I live in New Jersey. And after about, I'm going to say the very beginning of November, there is no possibility of getting UVB. So I just wanted to be able to naturally, because I do not believe in vitamin D supplementation. I researched and listened and learned a lot from scientists and different things about synthetic supplements and synthetic supplementation, a lot of different things, but in particular vitamin D. I'm just not a fan of popping the vitamin D because from different things I've seen and heard and read that the vitamin D is not the bioavailable, even though they measure your blood and it looks like the level's higher, that form of vitamin D, that chemical configuration from the supplement is not what would have been created from our buddy up here, the sun. So let's see, Chow CEO says, where's the meetup with Rebecca going to be? So she asked me, and I accepted her invitation to be her kind of special guest at one of her retreats. I had pretty much a choice between Tennessee in the fall, and I think it's North Myrtle Beach in the spring, in May. So it's in Myrtle Beach. So I'm going to the Myrtle Beach one to be there to talk with anybody and everybody who joins in this amazing getaway where it's basically carnivore, keto, and discussions really around all aspects of this. And I talk a lot about the social complications of this, how difficult it can be because we're doing a way of eating that is so normal and natural to our human bodies through all of existence, but now we're looked at as freaks, like, oh, she's doing that freaky thing, what the heck, like, she's still eating all meat, and it's really interesting that, we from this side can look out and say, wow, what are you guys all eating that stuff that comes in a box, a bag, a bottle, and a jar with a bunch of chemical carrageenan, guar gum, maltodextrose, and blah. You can't even pronounce half these things. And you're eating that, and you're looking at me concerned about my health. You're concerned about my cholesterol. You're concerned about my that I'm going to have a heart attack. But nobody gave a crap when I was eating all sorts of garbage. Donuts, chocolate, cookies, ice cream, cake, pie, pasta, bread. It's all on the major no list. Major, not good for our bodies. So, but I'm thought of as very, very unusual. Just found a cool shell. Sorry. So let me see. I got my SPERTI light to use. I use it all the time, even though I live in Florida. I also have been carnivore a year, thanks to you. Thanks, Sherry. My psoriasis is completely gone. I'm so excited. Thank you. Oh gosh, Sherry, your message and the ones that I get similar to yours are so inspiring to me to keep going, because I had somebody reach out yesterday and write a really kind, special thank you for what they imagined is a lot of work that I put into this. And I said, having appreciation and having messages of healing are what keep me going and make it worthwhile for me to put in the hours that I do doing this. And I don't know, it's strange. I feel like I'm in a particular position where, I've been, let's call me an OG veteran of carnivore, right? Having done it almost 14 years. March will be 14 years for me. And being a medical professional, I have some level of credibility and intelligence, right? That people might come to this and say, well, heck, I'm sure she didn't take her health lightly, and look what she's doing and how she's living her life, which, this is all it's more than just food. It becomes a whole lifestyle of things like I'm talking about, like the sunglasses off and the UVB to get the vitamin D. Oh, and I wanted to go back to your comment, Sherry, about the SPERTI vitamin D lamp and being in Florida, because yes, you are below the, I think it's the 38th latitude, so you have the possibility year-round to get the UVB rays. But it's very interesting because I do know how it is, because I was down in Florida for a couple months last winter, and you just start taking it for granted that it's there, and you're not actually going outside a lot and, laying out and enjoying like you do on vacation. So the vitamin D lamp is pretty awesome because you can, my people go click on and say, I think it's like $4.50, $4.80, but if you, I think my code is CarnivoreDoctor, and you get 10% off, I think is the discount. I'll put a link and my discount code in there, but I purchased it with my own money. I was not sent it free by the company. Oh my gosh, this guy just literally went for a swim in there. He did, without a wetsuit. Okay then. So I could just segue right into a discussion of cold water plunging, which, boy, I have access to, but I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. I watched Joe Rogan, he did a post yesterday about it, and just get into that tub full of ice. And I don't know, I guess, supposedly there's a lot of benefits, enough benefits that people do this, but I'd have to look into that more. Not there yet, guys. Sorry. I just bought myself a SPERTI lamp for Christmas. Yay! Yay, Amy! Amy is part of my groups, and I know her. I'm so happy for you, Amy. Sick and tired of poor mental health during winter in Northeast PA. Yeah, and nobody commented. Oh yeah. Oh, you said you can't hear me anymore. Oh darn. Oh, sound is good now. Okay, yeah, because sometimes when you unhook it and stick it in your pocket, it doesn't disconnect, and I don't know, whatever. But if you guys can tell me if you can still hear me. So let me just give a little quick, I'll call it an outright plug to my groups, because, some people say, well, you do sell something, because I really don't sell much of anything. I do give a lot of my time to these groups because I have found out and figured out through the years, I do one-on-one individual coaching and group coaching, and I always suggest to the one-on-ones that they also join into the groups. I usually give them a link to join into a meeting to check out how it is, but I've had so many people say they have tried their whole life to overcome this food issue and nonstop noise from this, and going back and forth and diet after diet and being good and then falling back, and that it wasn't until these groups where you have this weekly get together and talk with other people and just have accountability, have information. You can ask questions at every meeting. I really do keep my meetings small enough that everybody, and I mean everybody, at every meeting can bring up a topic or a question that they have. And then it's awesome. We all learn from each other, and we share and we talk about that topic. And just week after week, it's so empowering. And I do have, I have some spots available in my January groups. I offer 3 each week, so you can pick a day and time that might work best. You get a recording every week. If you miss it or have to come in late or leave early, you get the recording every week. And I don't know, I try to talk about it because it is just so valuable in people's journeys, from so much feedback, and I just encourage you all to give it a try. And you don't even have to participate. I've had people say, I'm so nervous, I'm not comfortable doing this, and I say, you don't have to do anything. You can send me a message ahead of time and say, I'm so excited for this meeting, but I want to listen and not participate, and I will purposely then not have a discussion directly with you. This is easy stuff, guys. You just have to be bold, open your mouth, ask for what you want, do what you want, and get what you want. Tucson, Arizona, I'm new to you. Love your butter candy. Oh, Ruth, yes, those butter bites are awesome, right? Do you have a PCP you can recommend in your area? Having a hard time finding one in New York, New Jersey. Oh yeah, I don't go to a PCP, so because fortunately I have no use for the medical system whatsoever. I just order my own blood work. Unless I break a bone, I'm in a tragic accident, or I'm guessing maybe have an attack of an appendicitis. I really don't hope that I have no use for the medical system. So I'm not a good one. There are databases from low carb. I think Low Carb USA has a low carb provider database, and there's some other websites. Can't think of it off the top of my head. If I can, I will post that into the show notes of this video. But yeah, it's really important if you have diseases you're trying to manage and heal from, and what we call demedicate yourself from. You do need a provider, and you need somebody who is pro low carb. So I do know there is one that I'm trying to think of the name of it now, and somebody told me of, but Dr. Wiedeman is one for sure. Yes, that wasn't the one I'm thinking of. There's another one, but Dr. Wiedeman for sure can be a PCP provider. And for that matter, you can do telemedicine. You can contact Dr. 𝗖𝗢𝗢𝗞𝗚 down in Florida and do your visits and blood work and everything through telemedicine. Let's see, Betsy says, I feel awful. I've been off carnivore, succumbed to peer pressure and addiction, and have been eating off plan for a few months, determined to get back on track. Okay, Betsy, here you go. Suck it up, Buttercup. It does suck. It sucks never eating donuts and pizza and ice cream and brownies, but you know what? It doesn't suck because you feel so good, and you're healing your body, and you're not going to be inflamed. So yeah, have a little funeral for your friend. And when I say it sucks because that one thing that we used to know that we could turn to for, I'm going to do some backward walking because that's also good to change your use of your muscles. And there's literally nobody on the beach for me to bump into. So yeah, we turn to that stuff to fill a void, and we've unfortunately learned, our brains learned, that we can get a dopamine hit during times of sadness, anger, anxiety, depression, even happiness. We can turn to this stuff, and a lot of times it is to fill a void, and we have to learn an alternate way to deal with our emotions, and we have to change our relationship with food. It's not something that's entertaining. It's not for entertainment, and it takes a while of staying consistent, and that's why I say do a 90-day challenge. Start January 1st. I always say no time like the present. Start tomorrow. Start today. Why wait to start getting healthier? Need some ZZZ asks, where do we find your coaching info? I will definitely put a link here on my website. You can get to the place to go, but it's at CarnivoreDoctor.com. I wasn't able to get CarnivoreDoctor.com, but it's CarnivoreDoctor.com. It'll bring you to my very crude, basic website that I made myself. I know I got to work on that or hire somebody, I don't know, but I did a good enough job that there's, I hope, I'm going to double check when I get back, a good spot for, it'll say information on coaching. You'll click that. It brings you right to where you can read specific details about each of the coaching things that I offer and sign up right there. So what I was saying about, let me get back to Betsy, because succumbing to peer pressure, that is your brain, you know better, and the peer pressure says, oh, come on, you only live once. Oh, come on, this is so amazing, you've got to taste this. Sue made her famous, world famous brownies, blah, 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 whatever it is, whatever the pressure is. It's really your, what I call the ditch demon up there, giving you permission. It's like, okay, ooh, geez, I don't want to be awkward. I don't want to insult my host. I don't want to feel like, you know, I don't want to feel like the fifth wheel here. Everybody's digging into the nachos grande. I'm going to sit here and smile and look at it. Yeah, that's what I do. I get my seltzer with a twist of lime because I'm fancy in a restaurant. I splurge with a little lime in my glass. And I just talk and enjoy the conversation. And you could, instead of succumbing to peer pressure of everybody laughing and having fun and eating that toxic, poisonous garbage, you think to yourself, wow, look at that pile of toxic, poisonous, addictive garbage that my body can't handle. Theirs can't either, but I know better, and I'm not going to put it in my body. And wow, each of those tortillas is deep fried, soaked, saturated in those toxic seed oils. If you don't know about seed oils in specific, go to YouTube and type in dangers of seed oil, and there's probably 100 videos. Watch how it is determined by an ophthalmologist who studied it for 8 years that he's convinced it causes eye disease and macular degeneration, which was rare. It was 1 in hundreds of thousands back 100 years ago, and now it's like 1 in 3 over the age of 75. Come on, guys. What changed between then and now? It's not that, you know, because they used to call it age